So, we're talking today about adding and subtracting fractions. We'll talk about multiplying and dividing them next week. So, you'll notice the first thing I have here is showing you the two parts of a fraction. We have the number on the top that's called the numerator, and the number on the bottom called the denominator. You can see I added a little note here. It says to add and subtract fractions, you're going to add or subtract the numerators and leave the denominators alone. Now, we are going to talk about in a minute what happens when the denominators are not the same. But if you look at the first two examples, you can see that both of these examples have two denominators that are the same. So if we look at this first one, 5/9 plus 1/9. When you add or subtract fractions, all you're going to do is add or subtract the numerators. It says 5 plus 1. What is 5 plus 1? 6. And we are not adding the denominators. We just leave the denominator what it is. Now, the only thing is, what do you have to do at the end if possible? Simplify, right? So, can you simplify 6/9? What can I divide both of those numbers by? So what is 6 divided by 3? What is 9 divided by 3? So my answer would be 2/3. On the second one, once again, if the denominators are the same, which they are, the denominator is going to stay a 5. And the numerator, since it says 3 plus 1, well, 3 plus 1 is 4. Can I simplify 4/5? No. So my answer would be 4/5. All right, so here's my little note. This is important. This is where it gets challenging. You cannot add or subtract fractions with unlike denominators. Unlike denominators mean different denominators. We're going to go over what to do when the denominators are different, because you can't add or subtract until they're the same. So here's the steps. It says find a common denominator. We need to make the denominators are the same by finding what we call a common denominator, and we'll talk about how to do that. Once you have a common denominator, then you do the same thing we did before. You add or subtract the numerators, and you keep the denominator, and then simplify if possible. So here's an example. I have 1/3 plus 1/6. You can see that these denominators are different. So you have to ask yourself, what multiple, the least common multiple, do 3 and 6 have in common? Meaning, like, what can they both be turned into? If you were to multiply, what's the smallest number they could both be by multiplying? 3? No, 6 can't be. If you multiply 6 by something, does it turn into 3? No. 2? No. 3 times nothing will give you 2. 12 will work, but it's not the smallest. We want the smallest to make our life easier. 6. Can't we do 3 times 2 to give me 6, and 6 times 1 will give you 6? So you could see I took the 1/3, since 6 is my least common denominator. What do I have to multiply 3 by to make it 6?
2.
And then whatever you do to the bottom of a fraction, you have to do to the top. So let's write that note. And I'm going to use the correct terminology. So denominator okay, it says whatever you do to the denominator, you must do to the numerator. So if we multiplied the bottom number by 2, we have to multiply the top number times 2. What is 1 times 2? 2. So 3 times 2 at the bottom makes the denominator a 6, and then 1 times 2 at the top makes the numerator a 2. So that 1/3 turns into 2/6, right? Which is equivalent. And then really, since the denominator here is a 6, I don't really need to do anything. Is multiplying by 1 changing anything? When you multiply both the top and bottom by 1, does that change this fraction? No, so the second one just stays 1/6. And now can you add these now that the denominators are the same? Yes, so I add or subtract depending on what it says. This is addition. 2 plus 1 in the top is 3. And I leave the 6 as 6 and then simplify that. What is simplifying 3/6 turn into? 1/2. They're both divisible by 3, right? 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Yes?
So if they give you one that has the denominators already both the same number, you just go times?
Yes, if the denominators are both the same, you just add or subtract the numerators and keep the denominator. But when the denominators are different, that's when it gets more challenging. That's when you have to find a common denominator, right? All right, let's do some practice. I'm going to give you a minute and then we'll talk about them. All right, on number 1, the denominators are different. What's the least common denominator of 4 and 2? 4, right? So 1/4 already has a denominator of 4. We can leave that alone. The 1/2, what do I have to multiply 2 by to make it a 4? And if you do that to the bottom, you have to do that to the... So 1 times 2 in the numerator turns into a 1. What am I saying? Sorry, a 2. And then 2 times 2 at the bottom turns into a... So that turns into 2/4, and it said plus. So 1/4 plus 2/4. Now I could add 1 plus 2 is 3. Leave the 4. There's my final answer, 3/4. What is my common denominator of 5 and 3? The least common denominator. 15. So both of them are going to have to change this time, right? So 2/5. What do I have to multiply this 5 by to make it a 15? A 3. If I do that on the bottom, I do that on the top. So I have 2 times 3, which is 6, and 5 times 3, which is 15. So this one turns into 6/15, right? Plus, now let's take the 1/3. I'll use a different color. 1/3. What do I have to multiply 1/3 by? The 3 at the bottom to make it a 15. And then if I do that at the bottom, I have to do that at the... So what's 1 times 5? What's 3 times 5? So that turns into 5/15. Can you add them now that the denominators are the same? Yes. So I'm going to say 6 plus 5, which is out of 15. Can I simplify that? No, I leave the denominator 15, and 11/15 is not able to be simplified. Yes?
How come for this one we have to also multiply the numerators because it's not 1?
Say that one more time.
For the first one, like, we didn't have to multiply the numerator, but for the second one we had to, like, you had to multiply the 2 by 3 and the 5 by 3.
Because it wasn't 15.
All right, last one in this section. This one is a little more challenging. 15 and 10. Well, kind of. What's the least common denominator of 15 and 10?
5.
15 times what gives you 5? You're thinking factor. I could divide them and make them 5. I'm talking about what can you multiply them by, or multiply by to get to something else. Can you do 15 times something that's going to give you 5? I mean, technically a fraction, but we're not worrying about that. Like 15 times a whole number doesn't give you 5, right? We're 15 times something and 10 times something will give you a common number, 30, right? 15 times 2 is 30 and 10 times 3 is 30, right? That's your least common denominator. So if I want them both to be a 30, what do you multiply 15 by to make it a 30? What do you multiply? If you do that to the bottom, you do it to the top. 7 times 2 is? So that turns into 14/30. What do you multiply 10 by to make it a 30? If you do it to the bottom, you do it to the top. 3 times 3 is? Now I could add them. So 14 plus 9, I'm going to say is 23, correct? And 23/30 cannot be simplified. All right, what is my common denominator on this one? Least common denominator. Yes, 28. This one already has a 28 as the denominator. I don't need to do anything to that one. That one stays 11 out of 28. What do you have to do to 7 to make it a 28? Multiply by? Do that to the top. What's 4 times 4? What's 11 plus 16? We get 27/28, and that cannot be simplified. All right, these are subtraction. They're exactly the same, except we're going to subtract instead of add, right? So I'm not going to do all three. They're all this similar. Let's look at number 15. All right, what is the least common denominator of 9 and 6? 18, thank you, good. They're both gonna need to be turned into something out of 18, right? And it's a subtraction problem, so I'm gonna put the minus sign in between. What do I multiply 9 by to make it an 18? Do that to the top. We get 14, right? What do we multiply 16 by to make it an 18? Multiply the top by the same number. We get 6. What is 14 minus 6 now? I'm not adding, this time I'm subtracting. 14 minus 6 is out of. And can I simplify that? I could divide both of those by, what is 8 divided by 2? And 18 divided by 2 is, and 4/9 is as simplified as it gets. So same rules for adding versus subtracting, correct? All right, now, what about mixed numbers? A mixed number is when you have a whole number with a fraction next to it. So 2 3/4, right? So what you're gonna do, I'm gonna tell it to you differently than what these directions are gonna say. I'm gonna say, convert each, let me write this smaller. Write this note down. Convert each mixed number into an improper fraction. What is an improper fraction?
Like the numerator's bigger than the denominator.
When the numerator is bigger than the denominator, exactly. So if I said something like 4/3, do we see how the numerator is bigger than the denominator? That's called improper. We could convert that to a mixed number. We could say, okay, well, 3 goes into 4 one whole time. There's 1 left over. Out of, we keep the denominator. Those are equivalent. 4/3 is the same as saying 1 1/3. We could also go from a mixed number to an improper fraction. So that's what I'm telling you to do. Go from improper to, or mixed numbers to improper. So for example, this 2 3/4. How do I turn that mixed number into an improper fraction?
Multiply 4 and 2 and then add.
Exactly. I multiply these two numbers, the whole number and the denominator, and then I add the numerator. What is 2 times 4?
8,
And 8 plus 3 is?
11,
Out of, I keep the denominator, 11/4. Do you agree with that? All right, let's do the same thing here. I multiply, what's 1 times 3?
3,
Plus 2.
5,
And then put it over, the denominator was a 3, right? Now, I do the same thing I did before. I find a common denominator. What is my least common denominator of 4 and 3? 12, right? 4 times what gives me 12? So multiply the top by 3. What's 11 times 3? What do you multiply 3 by to make it 12? So multiply the top. 5 times 4 is? Now I could add these. What's 33 plus 20? Now, the problem is, what's your final answer here?
improper.
It's improper. Your final answer should not be improper. So now we have to convert that to a mixed number, which means you have to ask yourself, how many times does this number on the bottom go into this number at the top? How many times does 12 go into 53? 4 times. 12 times 4 is 48. So how much is left over from 48 to 53? 5. Out of 12. You can see we got the same answers. They did it differently, but the way I showed you will work all the time. When you're subtracting, the way they just showed you will not always work all the time, but my way will. So let's do it this way. Okay? Okay, subtracting is the same exact thing. So I'm not going to go through all the instructions, except instead of adding, you will subtract. So I'm going to ask you to try number 7 and 8, and then I think we could stop there because the other ones are very similar. All right, you could see that I started some of the work already here, right? Yes.
If you get like a number that's improper,
You got to turn
You
it back
turn it
to a
to
mixed
mixed
number. Yes. All All right, so you'll see I started turning that number into a improper fraction, but you could see that you might not know what 4 times 16 is and then add 15 off the top of your head. So you could see I multiplied 4 times 16 and the answer was 64. I added it to 15, I got 79. So 79 over 16. And then the second one, it wasn't as hard. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 3 is 31 out of 4. Now I could add them. All right, so I can't though because the denominators are different. So first, what is my common denominator here? Smaller than that I could do. I don't want to make it harder. 16. 16, this one already says 16, so I could leave it. But what do I multiply 4 by to make it a 16? Do that to the top. So 79 over 16 stays 79 over 16. But then here I get 16 on the bottom, and then 31 times 4 is going to be 124. This one's challenging. There's some big numbers here. What happens when I add 79 plus 124? What do I get? Looks like 203. And lastly, we'd have to convert that back to a mixed number. This one was hard. There was a lot of big numbers here. So I would say 16 goes into 203. I want to say 12 times maybe. Let me check. All right, so it goes in 12 whole times, which you'd get 192. So from 192 to 203 is 11 left over out of 16. I'm not going to do number 20 because I think the numbers are going to get very big as well, but it's the same concept. The last thing I want to talk about, what about number 11? Is this a mixed number? Is it a fraction? If you wanted multiply or add or subtract or anything with fractions and one's not a fraction, it's a whole number, what do? Put a 1 underneath it to make it a fraction, and then you do the same thing. When you're finding common denominators, this one has a denominator of 9, and this one would have a denominator of 1. What's the least common denominator of 9 and 1? 9, and you would do it that way, okay? So that's pretty much the lesson.